don't have to see what's over the precipice to believe that he said, don't go over there because you're going to be in danger. So recently, my family and I have been impressed to study the sanctuary service, right? The sanctuary message. And so we've been going through the articles in the sanctuary and all of that. So when we were studying the first article in the sanctuary, which is the altar of sacrifice, right? Where the offerings are burnt, right? Where the goat and the ram and everything comes to be burnt. When I was studying it for myself, it brought me back to the first sacrifice that was made, which obviously would have been in Eden when Adam and Eve sinned and a lamb was killed to give them clothing, but not only clothing, but to point to Christ. So God said to Adam and Eve, the day that you eat of this fruit, you shall surely die. In order for them to not die, so death had to occur, that's the point. In order for them to not die, the lamb had to die, which would represent Christ stepping in there. With that said, it dawned on me that after they saw this animal die, this was the first death that they would have experienced. This was the first time they would have then seen a leaf fall from the tree. So it's the first time they're going to see the effects of death, which then dawned on me that they couldn't have fully understood what death was without experiencing it, you know, because they didn't experience it. They knew you could explain it to them, but until they fully experienced it for themselves or saw it, I mean, right, in action, then they wouldn't fully understand what death would have brought. And it brought me to something that basically obedience does not require understanding. Does not require understanding. The Lord explained to them, of course, I presume, but him explaining it to him, who would fully understand until he experienced it, until he experienced the grief, until he experienced the sadness. But we have this thing now where we want to understand everything before we obey, right? We see it in child rearing as well, where you must explain everything to the child and all of that. And I am saying that's not biblical. That is not biblical. And that's why it says even that obedience is better than sacrifice, right? That's a whole different topic. But obeying God blindly, knowing that he's there for us, knowing that what he says is the best decision or the best route for us, where he points us, that's where we ought to go, trusting that God knows best, right? Trusting in his omnipotence in our lives, that the path that he's leading us is the right one, no matter if we fully understand it or not. We don't have to see what's over the precipice to believe that he said, don't go over there because you're going to be in danger. So I just wanted to bring that out, that obedience does not require understanding. And so we must teach our children as well. Say they are in danger, right? And you are going to say, come out of the road. And they're going to say, why? Why must I come out of the road? You know, questioning. They should trust and respect you in such a way that they know what you are telling them is for their best, even though they don't see the danger, they don't understand why. They must know that it is the best. So yeah, that just came to me that through that study, that obedience does not require full understanding. Yeah. So we may not understand everything in the Bible, but we can trust.